in this morning, we are going to have a super brief talk, a little chit chat about the culture in Indonesia and in Germany. And I am Marshanda Aulia. I am here today with
Annika.
Yeah, she's very sweet. You're a student from Germany, from what university?
I'm from University of Hamburg, which is a city very north in Germany. It's the second biggest city in Germany.
Oh, second biggest city in Germany.
After Berlin.
Right, okay. And today I am very, very curious about the culture in Germany. But before we talk about that, maybe you can share your brief experience about the time that you're spending in Indonesia, especially in Yogyakarta here.
Yes. Actually, I had a great time so far. I've mainly been to this university because of the accreditation process, because of work. But so far, everything here, I didn't see so much from Jogja yet, but everything at the university was really nice. People were really great. I really like the food a lot. I'm vegetarian though, so it's a little bit hard sometimes to find food. But I like the fruits and the vegetables and everything, and everyone's nice and accommodating. So I had a really good experience so far. Yeah, but today I'm doing sightseeing and I'm looking forward to see more.
Okay, so earlier today, I think that you are going for an activity, membatik, right?
Yes.
So can you share with us about your experience?
Yes. I think Tuba just did the podcast, and in the meanwhile I did some, I don't know what it was called, some ecological print making. So we took plant leaves and then we put them on like tote bags and then we hammered it in the top.
So we have them all.
Yeah, it's like an imprint of the leaves of the plants. It was very nice.
Yeah.
It was very fun because also I had a lot of energy from the accreditation, and then I was like, so I could like.
So when I was in elementary school and primary school, I think I have the lesson, especially about membatik. And we can do something like, usually the teacher give us the assignment to imprint the leaves on the topic or in the clothes, and then we have to put it on the class as like a mini exhibition, you know.
That's
before
so
we can take it back to our home and use it. Maybe we give it to our parents or we can use it for ourselves.
That's so cute. Did you grow up in Jogja?
What?
Are you from Jogja?
Yeah, I am. Was born here, but actually, my parents is in different cities, maybe in different land. But yeah, I am originally from Yogyakarta.
Okay.
So I think, but I still don't know a lot of things that in Yogyakarta because I'm going back and forth from Yogyakarta and other cities.
Because you're just traveling? You like traveling, or is there a reason?
Because my father is not originally from here, so sometimes I go back there and then I go back here.
So you travel a lot.
Yeah.
Do you like it, or is it exhausting?
I think in some parts I like it, but sometimes it's exhausting because traveling needs a lot of energy.
Yeah, I understand.
What do you feel the same when you are traveling from Germany to Indonesia?
Yes, it was exhausting, but also very exciting, traveling such a long way, and I've never been to Indonesia before, so I was very happy to go.
So this is your first time?
It's my first time in Indonesia. I already did 2 accreditations at Indonesian universities, but it was during COVID times, so it was online. So this is my first time actually being here. So I was like, wow, holiday.
Yeah,
you know.
You can count this as holiday.
Yes.
So you were also talking about foods earlier, right?
Food, yes.
What's your favorite Indonesian foods that you have tasted while you are here?
But because I'm vegetarian, it's a little bit hard for me to eat a lot of the food, but I ate a lot of gado-gado.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
because
It
it's
has a lot of
vegetarian.
vegetables.
Yes.
And the sauce, the peanut sauce.
Yes, I really
Do you like
liked it.
that?
Yes, I really liked it. I also really liked all the fruit so far. It tastes very different here
Yeah.
than in Germany. In Germany, we import the fruit and vegetable,
Oh.
but it doesn't taste the same. It's not as good. Here, I'm just eating fruit and vegetables all day. It's very nice.
Usually look at the food blogger, in internet, and sometimes they are come to Germany, and I also see some of their foods, and I think that I am really curious about how it tastes. Can you please tell us and describe us what make it difference between Indonesian foods that you have tasted and Germany?
And German
Yeah.
food. I don't know. I think traditional German food, I think there's a lot of meat. But I don't think we eat that much traditional German food in our day-to-day. I think Germany is more a place where we eat food from a lot of different cultures. Also, it's very common in my generation or for young people to be vegetarian. I think, it's very common. So we don't really eat a lot of. I never eat traditional German food anymore because it's only meat. So I think we eat a lot of Italian food, like pasta, but then also sometimes, like fried rice or something. So it's more influenced from other countries. I think that's more the reality for us. So I don't know, maybe when you're a little bit older and you live in the countryside, and then maybe you eat a lot of traditional German food. But I don't think the German food culture is that great, to be honest. I don't love it that much.
Yeah, I think that sometimes we tend to like other cultural foods. Like I also love some Italian foods.
Yes.
Yeah, but then there are a lot of cuisines in Indonesia, right? But
What are your 3 favorite cuisines? What if you had to choose 3 cuisines and that you had to read for the rest of your life?
is it in Indonesia?
In the world.
Or in the world?
In the world, 3. And then you can only eat these 3 cuisines for the rest of your life.
Fried rice, of course. Fried rice.
No, but cuisine as in like Italian, Vietnamese, Japanese,
Right. The first one, of course, Indonesian.
Indonesian?
Because I
okay.
grew up since I was a baby until there in Indonesia, and I don't think that I can live without Indonesian food.
Okay, I see.
And the second one is I haven't get a taste much of the cuisines in the world, but I think that I love Thai food.
Thai, yes, Thai is very good.
Similar from Indonesia, but they tend to be more sour. But I really love it. And then maybe Italian foods.
Yes.
I love pasta and pizza. They're so good.
Yes, just for pizza, I think you have to choose Italian, just because a life without pizza.
Yeah.
But it's so simple, right? You just have bread and then cheese, but it's good.
Okay. And then I also noticed that when I watch some videos about people living in Germany, about the culture there, about the roads, about the streets, do you find like any big difference between in Germany and Indonesia when you arrived here?
I think here it's a little bit more traffic. Yeah, so for me it feels more more cars and more scooters and all of that. We don't really use scooters as much. And I think in Germany, especially in cities, it's more public transport and more walking and more cycling. So it's not as many cars, but everything is also a little bit closer together. So you don't need to drive around. And the streets, it depends where you are, right? But I think in the cities it's more dense, so you can walk more, and it's more public transport. So there are not really cars in the city center as much. I mean, there are, but not so much. You don't get around with cars that easily as here. And here I feel like you really need to drive with, with bus or something.
We use like the personal vehicles a lot
Yes,
rather than public transport.
like scooters and
yeah.
yes.
And I think that this has caused a lot of traffic and then pollution, of course. Sometimes like it's hard for us to find the public transport because we really don't have much of the transportation itself, like the bus or the train. But I think that in the younger generation, like now, people love to use to commute with public transportation because it's fun.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time, so we can go anywhere. When we use personal vehicle, personal transportation, we cannot talk much because we have to focus on the road, right?
Yes.
But when we go with the public transportation, we can put our attention to people around us. We can talk to our friends. We can see the view outside the window. I think that's very interesting.
Yes, I think in Germany as well, like public transport should definitely be, there should be more of it too. Like I think it's really important that, you know, the government and the politics, they do more for public transport. But yeah, I think here I notice it's a little bit more traffic, which I imagine it being exhausting. There's so much traffic. Well, I'm getting like, because, you know, so far I was only driven around, someone was driving me, and I was watching all the cars and scooters and everything, and I was like, oh my god, this is so stressful.
Yes. Overwhelming.
Yes, I was like, I was like, how do people do it? It seems so scary to drive. So I was like, oh my god.
It's also about our habit. We have mentioned about traffic earlier. Sometimes people are in the rush time because in Indonesia, is like my personal experience and based on my own observation of people around me, I think that we tend to, we are not really punctual with time. It's like when we make an appointment at 10, we will go to the place where we made appointment exactly at 10. But actually we have to prepare before 10, right? So we have to arrive at 10. So I think that that's something that we really need to improve, because sometimes we made appointment at 10, but we really start and we really arrived at the place at 10:30. And I think that's not a very good habit, you know. That's
I'm not sure. I just know it the German way, which is punctual.
Yeah, right.
On time.
I think that people in Germany are so punctual. They are always arrive at the time, on time, and that's maybe you know, it's not only about the personal. We make a personal appointment, but also the transportation itself. Sometimes we have so much delay that makes us too lazy to use the public transportation because it's not really disciplined.
For sure, yeah. I mean, if it takes so long with public transportation.
Can you share with us maybe about how people are, the habit of people in Germany about the punctual, maybe so that the audience and me can learn from it?
I don't know. I mean, everyone is different, right? I mean, that's obviously the big stereotype about Germans, that Germans are punctual. I think it's true to an extent. Yes, I think the culture is just people are more punctual, and it's, you know, respectful of everyone's time because everyone is busy and working a lot, and, you know, you're planning your day, and yeah. So I think I'm like that too, but you know, I have friends who are also very not punctual at all, and I think I tend to be very German in that way. I'm like, oh my god. When I'm 5 minutes late, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. But you know, I also have friends who are very late sometimes, so I guess it depends. But I do think for like important things and business things, it's taken very badly if you're late. I think people get offended easily when it's about, I mean, not with friends, but when it's like an official appointment, people get get mad, which is also, you know, I don't know, people should also relax a little bit more sometimes.
Yeah.
I think Germans sometimes are very like strict and have their, you know, tunnel view of how things should be. But yeah, I think it is maybe more in the culture to be punctual. But this is, yeah, it's probably the biggest German stereotype, and it's also kind of true.
So it's like depends on people.
Yeah, it depends. The other big German stereotype is that Germans don't have humor. Do you know that stereotype?
What is it?
That Germans are not funny. They don't understand humor.
Yeah,
Do you know it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also very true. I think Germans are very serious.
They
Yes.
taken the time seriously about.
Yeah. Yes, and also I think what is another thing about Germany, it's I think Germans tend to be a little bit cold, not very welcoming. Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing about our culture. I think it takes a long time to warm up. You know, I think when you meet Germans at first, everyone is more reserved, usually.
So is it different when you come to Indonesia and meet people there?
Yes, everyone is so nice and welcoming. I'm not used to it. And I feel bad because I feel like when students from Indonesia come to Germany, they must feel like, oh my God, everyone.
Welcome here.
Yes, and you know, Germans are sometimes very unwelcoming, and that's something that's also important to be critical of your own culture and your own, your own society like that, because it's more than you know, just being unwelcoming. It can also transform into views about the world and everything. You know, when you don't have this welcoming mindset, it can also impact your political views, and then, you know, you get closed off. So I think it's something, especially right now, because we live in very political, scary times in Germany too. I think it's very important to be aware, to be open, and kind of not be this typical German closed off. Yes.
Especially that we are students, that we have to be an open-minded sometimes, not really narrow-minded, so we can share each other's perspective and understand each other's feelings, each other's cultures.
Yes, and especially right now in Germany, because it's such a in Europe in general, like the political climate is so heightened, and the right and the left, and everyone is, so it's very important to keep open-minded.
So that was very nice. I really want to have like longer time to talk with you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time here. But really, I still have a long list of things that I really want to talk to you. But unfortunately, we don't have really much time with that. Maybe in another opportunity we can share more. We haven't talked about our language. We haven't talked about the education difference as students.
But you talked with Tuba about it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I also get so much insights from you in this very brief conversation. So and you are really sweet. You don't fit the stereotypes that people give to
Thank you.
So I think that I was so lucky to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm lucky to meet you. Thank you for having me. It was very interesting.
It was really nice to talk with you
for
a few minutes. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you can get like a little insights about the Germany culture and Indonesian culture. I think we can see each other in the next time.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Terima kasih.